all beings, y'all. Let's get it.
Put your hands together. Put your hands together.
Can I get it? Amen. For everybody in the chat, and that's all of you people tuning into Calling All Beings. Good evening, everybody. I'm your host, DJ. It is a Thursday night out here, and man, let me calm down these damn applause. Wait, that's supposed to fade in and out. Let me try that again. There we go. It's coming in, and now it's going out. It's going to fade. There we go. All right, we got to fade. Good evening, everybody. Man, let me say hi to everybody that's up in the joint. Somebody already made 10 gifts. Man, are you guys trying to make a brother cry? Can I get a hey? Hey, man. For everybody in the free Karen Reed community. There's my homie right there. So in the chat right now, there's Sherry. Hey, man. Hi, Sherry D. Hi, Dennis. How are you, bro, man? What's up? I'm going to see you real soon. Yeah, last night I got a contact. Hey, Glenn Lake. I got to see you at the party. And Terry Robbins is in this building. We're talking about the Dean College legend. Can I get a man for Terry Robbins? Man, that is all kinds of awesome. All right, so I got to just tell you guys, last night I got a Facebook message from this young lady that's in the chat. Where is she? She's a Dean graduate, year 2000, allegedly LB. So that's what I'm saying right there. And then I ended up voice messaging her. She's very shy on the phone. So I got to speak with her. We talked about Dean. And what we got to talk to Terry about is about the fifth floor. We got to know what's going on the fifth floor with Dean Hall. So that's something that we will tackle on Saturday night. So let me get to it because I want to say hi to everybody. All the amens. Okay. So Miss Jessica NB is here. She is one of our new wrenches that it took us a while for her wrench to appear. But I feel like out there in Chicago, Miss Jessica waved her wand. And then somehow, like, the wrench appeared. That's the story that I'm sticking to. Julie's here, the original gangsta. That, as far as Cab Calling All Beings moderators goes. She's been with us for a couple of years now. Sherry D is here. Sherry's here. Sherry, you are so incredibly generous. Man, I can't thank you enough. We need to. And look at this. Carolina Garcia is here. She probably has already left, but she is a content creator from the UFO space, and she and her boyfriend, Vinny Adams, is a megalith in the UFO space. Are friends of mine. I got to have dinner with them in Charlotte, so it was pretty dope. Okay. Dennis, all the way from Canada. Sherry D is my New York sister from another mister. Thank you very much. But Sherry, so she's a New Yorker, but she's also down in North Carolina. Who else do we have here? Let's see. I think we've hit everybody. There was me. There's Kelly. Oh, Kelly is our other new mod. Good evening, Kelly. How are you, ma'am? Thank you very much. We'll be seeing you got some rain in Rhode Island. You know what, man? The plants need that rain, man. So I say bring that rain. You ever been into the Middle East like I know Miss Jessica has? In Saudi Arabia and all these places, they pray for rain. So let's see. We got at least a couple of amens in here. And let's see. Glenn Lake, another extremely generous legend. And so Glenn says, I partied at Dean when I was a senior in high school in Mansfield. Hey, don't tell, Terry, you guys were partying there. You need to be of age. You were of age when you partied at Dean, right? It was the drinking age was 18. Stop. Scott McGinnis. Scott McGinnis, another legend. I imagine Scott was there today. We got to talk about Turtleboy. It looks like that he was remanded to his own recognizance because I went from the base to the pool, and then from the pool home, I wolfed down a piece of chicken and some spinach and came up here. So I haven't even showered yet, but it doesn't matter because I want to come hang out with you guys. I didn't even get my party shirt on here. I have this guy here, but unfortunately, I just, I wanted to get on air and not mess with it. So, let's see. So we're gonna get down to business. Oh, so Scott, Scott is here. Ask Rob. How are you? Good evening. I know Richie's been here. D-Mot, what's up, homegirl? How are you? Let me see. LFG. Somebody's gonna have to tell me what that means. Oh, I think I know what it means, and the middle part of that word may be a curse word. First of all, let's just talk about real quick. See it, Dedham. Hells yeah. So, just remember, Saturday night, the Dean College Roundtable. Did I miss Ken? Is it Ken in here somewhere? Let me know. Oh, there's Ken. Hey, Ken from Nottingham. Ken was here last time. Ken's from the UK. You all know that I got much love for the UK because of my 3 years there. It's just one of my favorite places ever. Erin D just popped in the joint. Oh, and she became a member. Thank you for becoming a member, love. And Greg also, and Scott. Wow, thank you guys. You guys are so dope. Oh, and look at this. Sean on the shelf, not on the golf. No, okay, so Jam. The Dean reunion will be the Dean reunion was supposed to be there when I was there for Turtleboy's Halloween party, but a lot of my teammates from Dean elected not to show up. The reunion will be Saturday night at 7:30, I believe, p.m. So check me on that, but it'll be somewhere between 7 and 8 on Saturday night. Okay, yeah, SD went to Dean. Boozy Beauty went to Dean. I went to Dean. There was somebody named Jay-Z went, but I didn't get to get a conversation with her. But Christine Mitchell is in the joint from Manchester. From Manchester. I can't be asked, can I? So, so hello. Welcome back. So our Ken from Nottingham and Christine are both back. So thank you very much. Big hug and one love to the northern part of the UK. Up near, so yeah, man, I wish, Christine, you were on here to do a Scouse accent for us, because I know you have a Mancunian. They call people from Manchester Mancunians, but sometimes if they're in close proximity, they can do a Scouse accent. So let me know, either Ken or Christine, if either of you can do a Scouse accent. On a side note, Scott. UFOs are what I believe chariots of the gods, multi-dimensional craft beyond our understanding of our 3 dimensions. So there it is. Yeah, yes, sir. So they held. This is not we're not doing UFOs tonight, but since Scott brought it up, they had the hearings on the Hill in front of a House committee. I believe maybe Nancy Mace chaired that committee, and they had Admiral Tim Gallaudet. They had former Army intelligence officer and GS-15 Lou Elizondo, who was basically he was the head of the UAP program at the time when he was there, about 2007, 2008 timeframe. They had, I believe, Nick Gold from NASA, and they had a writer who uncovered a UFO reverse engineering program. And Julie, you'll have to type in the chat, if you would, what the name of that program is. That writer, I'm trying to think of his name now. Michael, man, his name is escaping me right now. That's how much I'm following UFOs just lately. But Jules will be able to get that. Let's see. Let's not forget about the USOs calling all beings. So yeah, Tim Gallaudet was the Navy one-star admiral. He was the head of Um, oh man, this is going to be really tough because my brain's wrapped around Turtleboy, but essentially NOAA, the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Association. And so he has some knowledge, third party, after talking to witnesses of undersea objects that would appear to have been anomalous objects capable of moving 600 knots, which is about what a typical airliner would cruise at underwater, which is rather anomalous, I would say. Colonel Phil Corso, yeah, absolutely. Day after Roswell, I believe he wrote that book. So anyway, let us get back to let's get to Karen Reed talk. So you guys, apparently, Turtleboy was able to, stand on his own recognizance and not be taken into custody. I'm curious, your guys' thoughts on that, because the way that Attorney Mello, everybody was sort of concerned, is Attorney Mello still with us? Has he offed himself after those letters? Clearly, he came out swinging today. But I think the thing that I found really, really disturbing was the lying that he did on behalf of the state. He is a special. He's a special prosecutor, basically. He doesn't work in the DA's office anymore. He was brought on because of a, quote, conflict of interest to prosecute Turtleboy, as was Cosgrove. So, hey, how's it going, Shauna? How are you? We haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. There's a couple things I just want to check the chat here. Everybody. Oh, so Christine says everybody thinks I'm a Scouse. So that means you can definitely do the accent, homegirl. There's no doubt. It's one of my favorite accents in the UK is the Scouse accent. I absolutely love it. I really do. So I'd like to get your thoughts. JD, hello. Like I said, welcome back, Shauna. I would like to get your thoughts on what you saw today. I was very disturbed hearing him try to describe what Turtleboy did as I need proof of life from Melanie. Well, he was on video today, so there's that. I'm using Turtleboy's word. He likes to say, well, there's that. And now Melanie Little is also using that phrase. By the way, probably the greatest content creator of us all. It would be Melanie Little, followed closely by Nurse Kim. That's just my opinion. But yeah, it was very disturbing because clearly Turtleboy was trying to egress the situation when Lindsay came into court, spurned on by the other young lady, the one who hates Turtleboy that used to work for him. Can't remember her name. I can't remember her name. And so Turtleboy sought to egress. He spoke to an officer, and then somehow he ends up in a situation now where he's being charged. And the thing that's so disingenuous about this, that's really difficult for me to metabolize. Oh, there's another word for digest. You like that? My quarter. The thing that's really difficult to metabolize here is that now Betterow has sent proof that there has been communications and conspiratorial behavior between Kate, Lindsay, Tully, Mello, to create a situation whereby they could rearrest Turtleboy. And I find that very, very disturbing because I don't know why he can't just stand on, the principles and the law and say, okay, maybe you don't like this guy, but what he's doing is not illegal. And that be the standard, as opposed to, well, he hasn't really done anything illegal, but let's try to create something. Let's try, a grand jury had been impaneled and the other grand jury had not yet paneled itself or been impaneled. And yet they're trying to they were trying to get Turtleboy for conspiracy because she was supposed to have been a witness on a grand jury that had not yet been impaneled. And that really blows my mind. Let's get some here. Here's a UFO one sledding in the water tower in the dead of winter, just lit. Yeah, that's kind of what my sighting was like there, Standing Stones. It was very, very similar to that. Really, really crazy. Not as early as 71, more like 81 for me, 82. This was in Boston. Yeah. I didn't think he was back today. Lori, hi. Well, so please, someone back me up on that. Mello, I heard the judge address Mr. Mello in court today. So again, I'm listening from the work from one base to the next base, and then from there home. But I didn't even get to finish that proceeding. Yeah, this one that you're talking about with George Knapp is really, really good. George Knapp is outstanding. I did not hear Cosgrove there. Dennis, is that you're saying that was Mr. Cosgrove? Because I heard Mello referenced there, and it didn't sound, his voice didn't sound like Cosgrove. It sounded like Mello. Cosgrove has a very specific delivery. So you guys check me out on that and make sure that there. So that was the setup of Turtleboy. Fake victim LG was the honeypot trap. Right. Where ask him to come over for a threesome. Wasn't there something that was alluded to regarding a threesome, Scott? Yeah, Christine, it really, really, yeah, she's a very deranged person, but I'm going to tell you this. She is extraordinarily cunning and very, very bright and very, very smart. And I would submit to you that to take her any other way would be to underestimate her. And what happens when you underestimate anyone? That could be at your peril, right? That could be your peril. Okay, so that was, the video played was old from March. Miss Jess, okay, then what if that's what I saw today, then I'm way off. So thank you for getting me straight on that. But look who is here. I know somebody was in the joint. Tom CPU. All right. So since I watched the wrong video and I've had minutes since I left work, went to the other base, swam, and came here, can someone give me an update on what happened to Turtleboy and his whatever the proceeding was today? If somebody could get me spun up on that, I would greatly appreciate it. I need you to give me a buzz when you're free. I'm assuming you mean Scott, but if it's me, yeah, I could too. And you can always call through Twitter has a calling app. Krusty's smart enough to be very, very dangerous. Yes. You do not want, I mean, Mike, if you heard my guest last week, Mike Crawford, you don't want to underestimate a person like Krusty. And again, I hate to use that name. That's Turtleboy's name. I just don't like to make reference to her. You won't see her videos on here. You won't see me, posting photos of tweets on here because I don't want to drive her content. But she is extremely dangerous. She is very, very bright, and I would argue she maybe is one of the brightest among us. So you might say, why is that? And I will say this is because she has gotten others to broadcast her content. And that is a sign of great intelligence, because now what you can do when you do that is you can get other people to do your work for you. I can get other people to post my tweets. I can get people to post my videos. And although you think I'm there, I'm just pushing back on them, I'm dissing this person, what you're actually doing is driving their content, because people are going to go and watch. People are going to go to her channel because they want the outrage. But to me, other than this right here, I would never do a show around her. So that would never happen. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Hiya, Tom CPU. Did you see my ex post tagging you and uncivil? So we'll let Tom Roger up to that. This is my new friend, Leanne. Hi. Got lots of shouts for Time CPO because he the man. All I got to say. So does this mean continues? Does that mean there's a continuance? Okay. I guess that means that. So then nothing real. Oh, look who's in the house. My man, James Jackson from JFK Show Off Show. Hi, James. Man, while you're here, since another content creator jumped up in the joint, just like Scott, Tom is a content creator and brings us the news live from these events where you could be at work. If those of us that can have a cell phone at work, you can watch his content and it's great. But James, I really, really like he and JFK. These guys are just as real gets. These are what you call my homies, kind of dudes. So much respect. So next time JFK comes on, James Jackson is also getting an invitation to come on because I just really like these guys and they're just rad and cool and just really good guys. And that's what you're looking to connect with is good guys. And that's the kind of content that I want to watch are good people. I don't watch people that are vile, dirtbag-ish type folks that are bringing, really nasty commentary or trying to incite others. It's not something I'm interested in, but big fan of you, James. Let's see. So the audio was not even working. So basically, TB and attorneys talked after. The hearing had been changed to a Motion 17 hearing. Forgot the date. Thank you, Kelly Real Irish. Thank you, ma'am. Not that we don't, I'm sure we have no other Irish people in here, right? People of Irish descent or extraction. Okay, that's meant to be funny. Calm down. I realize all of you are. I get it. She's so gross. She is. Sherry D says, push, out, nothing burger. Next. Okay. Thank you, Sherry. Sherry is super duper smart, man. I got to speak with her a couple of times over the last week. I got to speak to another fan. I got to respond to her from Canada. I got to try to remember what her name is on here, but I got to speak with her this week. It's just been super duper busy. James Jackson in the building. So I've postulated, Christine, is that I think she's going to be that person who is the shot caller in jail. You've seen these sort of, reality TV shows about jail, and some of them, include women's institutions. Kate is going to seek to be that shot caller at some institution that's either at the county, state, or federal level. Probably not federal level for what she's done, but yeah. She's going to be that shot caller trying to run things. She's going to be getting in fights there and probably getting beat up, and then it'll probably calm down. She gets it. This is probably something I said 5 minutes ago. Oh, I think what you mean by this, Shauna, you're talking about when you broadcast is kind of people who are projecting a false narrative. And what I mean by that is I've said this. I would put money on this. I've got, 400 or 500. I put some paychecks on this that neither Kate nor there's another guy that broadcasts from his mother's basement. I can't remember what his name is. I think they both also believe that Karen's innocent, but they found a political way, a way to find relevance. And the thing what you can't ignore or forget is this can be like a drug. When you get to a certain level of fame on here, such that I've never experienced and probably never will, and that's okay. I'm really enjoying the interactions and friends I've made thus far because I've gotten to come to Massachusetts. I went to Turtleboy's party. I made new friends, and I've done that in other genres, and that's been really good enough. But the more that you sort of imbue yourself and sort of take in and take on this persona and count numbers, you'll see people will lash out. There are people in the community right now that are lashing out, and it can be like a drug. It can be like a drug, and that's something that that once you have it, you want to just kind of keep getting that drug or that alcohol, and that's something that that can't be ignored, and it drives people to say and do things. So if you were to look at this landscape and this ecosystem, and you were to see that there's this top dog named Turtleboy, and on the other end there was this law enforcement officer named Sean, and you're coming into the space and you're like, well, I can't be the top dog here, I might as well go to the other side, and maybe I'll start getting Christmas party invites from Jennifer McCabe, which they did, and you can find your fame that way. So there's a lot of different approaches to this, and unfortunately, people, if they don't think they can be the top dog, they're quite willing to switch sides. Let me put this on real quick. This is, where's my there we go. Free care and read and justice for Officer John O'Keefe. That's what we're here for, among others. All right, let's keep going. AKA that guy in the attic. Yes, absolutely. I don't say attic. The only reason is I feel like that's his name. I just don't say it. I know I feel like thank you, James. Yes, we will. I really look forward to speaking with you guys, whether it's on your show or on here. You're definitely going to get an invite here, so that will happen. But there are people here we want to recognize. Tom CPU for his work, because somebody here has a shout out for him. And right here is rain, sleet, or snow, or sun beating on him. And Scott, yes. And there's something here about bringing that content today. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Jessica, Miss Jessica NB, for those of you who don't know, our chat moderator. Let's see if we can get her up here. This woman has deployments to Operation Enduring Freedom. I don't know if her career was somewhere around a decade or less. She was an EOD technician, which is dismantling bombs. Those of you probably already know that. So yes, she is a veterans advocate, and she's a very courageous young lady. She's dealt with a lot in her life and is very tough. And I've got to have some conversations with Jessica as well. It just goes, there's so many wonderful people here as you look through here. There's just so many, that I want to celebrate. That's what's awesome about this community here. This Free Care and Read, Justice for John O'Keefe, Justice for Sandra Birchmore, because we've already lost her. Justice for Enrique, Justice for Justin Root. And there's others. So we have others to get to. Tomorrow night, I'm going to speak with a young lady who was at the Enrique Delgado Garcia, the Unity event that you guys held. Was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago? And her brother is in custody right now, I think, as a result of Tully's. So I'm going to speak with Shay and get that story. I don't know the story. I'm going to speak with Beatrice, Shay, and her brother, who is right now in custody, and we're going to try to bring some attention to that case. Patty Murphy, who also potentially is of Irish extraction. Taking a guess. Let's not sell KP short on what she's capable of. She could very easily manage to do something to bring on federal prosecution. I believe in her ability to do just about anything. Yeah, you know what, Patty, you make a great point. Maybe I spoke too soon, because the potential out there that we hear rumored, the conspiracy to deprive Miss Reed of her civil rights, yes, that could bring that kind of a charge, and you very adroitly point that out. So, see, this is the reason why you have a chat and why you engage with the chat, is because you learn something and you become smarter. Here we go. Tom says, I moved to management, Scott, salary and stuff. Yes. Management is good. Salary is good. Let's see. What else we got to get to here? Yes. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I support all these content creators. There's so many to name between Shorty and Aussie Insider and The Glare, Mazza, obviously Mike, whom we hosted last week, Turtleboy. There's just so many that are great. Melanie is, incredible, and Kim is a star. I mean, those two ladies right there, what they can do, you can't teach. Simple as that. The Trident says, hello, James Jackson. Tom is the man. Exactly. Some doofus lawyer pushed him, which is terrible. Hells yeah. What do we got here, James? Hey, Bud. Hey, what's up, Margaret? We haven't seen you around here in a while. Welcome back. Bienvenidos, or in Portuguese, bem-vinda. We got here. Oh, man. I mean, I can't even be bothered with that dude's content. Yes, ma'am. Everybody is welcome. So I should tell you guys, in case there's someone here that wants to get involved, we're going to do, so next week is going to be your friend, Jason Broyles, whose bald-headed brother looks like me. He's a little better looking than me. We're going to have him next week, and then the week after that, we're going to do a listener roundtable. So we've got 3 or 4 people maybe booked for that. So if one of you would like to be, I think Sherry D is going to be on it. Sarah, I think, is going to be on it. The other lady from Canada, forgive me that her name's escaping me right now. I know her name, but her screen name. And there's another person as well. So if you guys if one of you wants to be on that round table, you can come on Calling All Beings with me and be on a round table. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of love here tonight, and that's because of y'all. Salute to you all. Yeah, can I get an amen? And so this is connection between Tom and Scott. These guys are so gangster. They're at all of these events. Scott McGinnis, whom I've interacted with in a number of chats, and I met him in person, and we've had a phone call as well, and he's been on cab. Tom CPU has not been on, but he's also welcome on. You are welcome. DJ, love and respect for your service. Okay, I wasn't Marine. I'm retired Air Force, but thank you. Semper Fi. So yeah, I retired from the USAF in 2012. Let's see what else we got here. Does anyone else got the Weebles? I don't know what that means. I know they wobble, but they don't fall down. Thank you, and we respect all of you because everybody's serving. Those of you who are out there, and I did a Facebook post about this on Veterans Day because people will typically say thank you, DJ, and all this neat stuff. But which is really nice, but I feel just lucky that I had the opportunity to serve. But the point is that there are more than one, there's so many different ways to serve that the military is just one way. But also, you have school teachers, my high school teacher, my wrestling coach is a hero. My teachers at Dean were heroes to me. You have folks that are working at a animal shelter are heroes. Folks that are a foster mom or dad of either a human person or a pet are heroes. You're a crossing guard. You see these folks out there in all this weather, acting as a crossing guard. Heroes. So there's just so many. Miss Jessica, do you follow the veteran biker? So that's for you, Jess. We are here because you're a genuine guy. Thank you so much, Ken. I really do appreciate it. I did a big time sort of prayer for you last time you were on. It was brilliant. Tommy's a dude that can bust his balls, but I also have respect for no matter the mistakes we can make. Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're all fallible, right? It's just about when you see that mistake, it's just really about apologizing, which is what I wish would happen in the community. You know, you have a protagonist out there, a chief protagonist. I wish he would just call the other party and apologize, and then everybody could move forward. But people have a really difficult time. If you guys remember, for the really older school folks like me in here, and I'm 57 in case you're wondering. You see, I really hide my age. There was a show called Happy Days, and on that, the character Fonzie, when he, in talking about saying sorry, he'd say, and he couldn't. He's like, you know what, Richie, he couldn't get the words out of his mouth. But I'm sorry, and I was wrong. So let's see, that's 2 words. I was wrong, 3 words. So those 5 words combined can really go such a long way into repairing relationships that you have with others. You know, that could be, I'm sorry to Karen Reed. That could be I'm sorry to another content creator whom you dissed for no reason. So I'm sorry is really, really easy to do. You know, it's really easy to do. It makes you feel better. It makes the person feel better. Shay was awesome. You'll love that interview. When this again, got to put alarm on the interview. I'm unfamiliar with this one, so you guys will have to tell me about that, and I'm probably way behind you. So you guys help me get caught up here. There's just a lot of really nice stuff. Talking about Brian LTL. Yeah, I haven't had an opportunity to really speak with Brian. I did get to meet Brian at the Halloween party, but we've not yet been able to connect. But he is a very, very passionate advocate for these people, and he really feels and cares very deeply about what he's doing, and that shows. And for that, he has my respect. He really does. It takes a village. What an amazing group of people from all over the world in achieving justice for John O'Keefe, free Karen Reed. Yeah, so say that again, homegirl. Say it again, homegirl. Because you are right. It is an amazing group of people in the community here. Really just brilliant, brilliant people that are very passionate about what they're doing. I'm going to be there January 12th, and I'm going to stand out wherever these guys are at. So in case Tom and Scott knows that. I think actually Tom knows that as well. So I will be there and stand out for whatever the standout is, and then go for a meal of food. There she is. Buenos tardes, Carolina. How are you, love? You can definitely get an amen. Ha! Yeah, I've always got an amen. Let's see this. Thanks for saying. I think I'm the one who got the. Okay. And this is so it was Jim Ferriss. I didn't know. You know, it's so interesting, Christine, how tough Jim Ferriss is in a group or where someone can't fight back. Because all Turtleboy did was walk up and say, hey, I'm here. You said, why don't I come down here? And Turtleboy literally didn't do anything aggressive, but these cowards just run away. And you'd see Sam Nagel do the exact same thing if he was down there. They would just run away. Jingle for a commercial. It was a jingle for a commercial. I remember. I'm old enough to remember that. All right, we all do our pat, which is nothing like any other crime community has or maybe ever will see. We're not only under the microscope, but also on blast every second. You all make me proud. We got this. Amen, Tom. Amen, brother. That is right, and I'm proud to be associated with you as well. That's where I recognize you from. Been wanting for a few months where I knew you from. JD, does that mean me or somebody else? So let me know. Here's a nice one. Here's another one. Yeah. DJ has flown the Mach Loop. That is correct. Yeah, Tom, I got to find you those. Oh, man, I'm going to have to go on my Facebook and get them, but there is a navigator named Drew. So, real quick story. Forgive me for departing from Karen Reed real quick. Okay. There's a navigator named Drew Cunning. He retired as a lieutenant colonel within the last, I don't know, like 6 months, a year. And he hired a photographer to sit up on one of those hills there that you saw. I don't know if that was Wales or if somebody can correct me, that Mach Loop, if that was Wales or Lake District, because those were our two daytime low-level areas. In any case, so the photographer took photos of our aircraft. I was aboard that one, so if I ever get those photos, I'll put them on here and show you the Combat Talon 2, which is slightly cooler than the one in that video, but that's me just being, because we had a fancy radar that they don't have that could do some really interesting things. But anyway, thank you very much for bringing that up. When I think of England, I almost want to get teary-eyed. It just was an amazing 3 years. Kind of like my best 1 year was at Dean. My best 3 years were in England. So yeah. Yes, no, there's no apologies necessary. I'd be proud to be in any service, Shauna, whether it was the Marine Corps, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and a Coastie as well. The thing is that there's no one service for every person. There's a service for each. Everybody has their service, and I never try to talk someone into the Air Force when clearly, in me listening to their dialogue, they're Army. Your talent talk today. Yes, I was a flyboy. I still hold a. It was called. I'll put it in here so you guys can see it. It was called the MC. Oh, can't. Okay, so it's in the chat there. You can Google this and see the aircraft, the MC-130H or Combat Talon 2. It was had a very fancy TF2, fancy TF terrain following, terrain avoidance radars. We could fly at 250 feet off the ground with no visibility at all, completely whited out, like in a snowstorm, and the radars would depict the terrain, and we could navigate around it. So it was really neat. Okay, that's enough. Yes, man. I really do miss flying. I'll never have a job that cool in my life. Get that out of there. Let's see. Sure, coming up. Leading. Sherry, it's hard coming with. Oh, so I'm curious. So I guess I need to watch what Tom was asking Grant outside the courthouse. I know I saw you, Tom. I saw you after the last hearing, and it was really cool. Some of the things you were saying to him. I think you got him pretty flustered. Stand by 1 second. It looks like I got to plug in. It looks like my computer's not plugged in. I'll be with you in 1 second, my friends. Be right there. Okay, that's a sign that maybe the plug is going bad, because it was plugged in, but it's just kind of, it might be time for a new charging cord. All right. I know it was, it was really funny, man, listening to you interview him. And I'm way behind you guys, but FKR is, after all, people. We find a way to get along. Not always smooth. I apologize all the time. Absolutely. Yeah, it's not about not doing something wrong. It's about making that apology, saying I was wrong, I screwed up, I messed up, I effed up, whatever it happens to be. Let me get to this here. SY being in Afghanistan, meaning working. Yeah, you're gonna have to clarify this one. I know that the two brothers from Stoughton, the two jackasses that that abused Sandra, the two brothers. Man, I'm really struggling tonight with my memory. It was the Matthew and William, the two brothers, helped me out there, but those two were supporting units to Jessica's unit. So let me get to this one. Yeah, so there was a song about this, right, Shauna, called from Elton John called "Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word." And if you listen to the 1970s version of that song, it will, Elton John is one of them. We did a whole free Karen Reed music show, and some of you probably hadn't seen that. Scott may have seen it. I'm pretty sure Tommy did not see it, nor Sherry. Jessica saw it, but we had a bunch of people on. We had Mike, we had Mizzy, we had JFK, we had Suzanne. I can't remember how many people we had on to talk about all free Karen readers. What's your favorite music and why? And it was a really interesting show. So Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word, that great song from Elton John. And this one I got to get to right here from my homegirl, Brenda Sweeney, who we're going to be seeing real soon. We're under 2 months away now. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Please say hello to JFK for me. Man, when I heard it said justice for the kids, he's really an amazing guy. Your partner there, your broadcasting partner, he really is. Kelly, I'm trying. Grant was a challenge, but even he's yeah, Tom, you're gonna have to tell me about that one. Mental Fonzie. Oh my God! Hey, you have the Fonzie lunchbox. You are the hero right there, Sherry. If you have a lunchbox, metal plus, I guess that's her favorite brand of music. She's probably an '80s metal fan, but she's younger than me. Happy days, hell yeah! Now here she is, the superstar. Brit happens, my partner. So, Brit. Brit will be in Massachusetts with me, or I'll be with her, whatever. She might be the boss for all I know. But Brit is going to be starting her YouTube soon, which will be by the same name, Brit Happens. And if you saw the episode with Mike loved her. The audience loved her. Nurse Kim and her have a personal relationship and phone relationship. And she's a brilliant mind for this case. Incredibly witty, really, really bright person. So you guys are going to love when Brit comes on air and starts broadcasting about Karen Reed. And you're going to see a lot of content creators get on there with her. She's wonderful. I don't know what the pick is. So you're going to have to tell me, is that if okay, so those two are trying to share that. Yes, I'm sure, you had to have patience with him, Tommy. Brit, I know everybody loves Brit Happens. How can you not? I can't wait. All right, so Tom, I'm going to go consume that later tonight. The movement is a gift from God. He chose all the right people to handle it, and he will ensure that they are successful. Yes. Success is ours. It's a matter of time. Pinky Tuscadero. Oh my God, you guys that are too young to have watched Happy Days, Google or YouTube Pinky Tuscadero. Because one of my friends, we went out to dinner and they had pink dinner napkins, and she tied it around her neck, and we were calling her Pinky Tuscadero, and we took photos, and it was just hilarious. So, but I guess it's if you know, you know, right? I love all the people I met through this. Absolutely. And I met you through this. I got to talk to Leanne last night. She was wonderful. I got some sign. Oh, okay. I'll be interested to see what that is. Scott. Yes. Oh, wow. Fonzie's jacket is at the Smithsonian. It should be. He taught me some things. I was wrong about the chip lady. Karen's tech did do the chip off. I didn't know that fact. He did. Okay, I thought Karen's tech was a female the first time and a male this time. So, Tom, we got to get spun up on that because I thought that Trooper Guarino testified that he did a chip off and thereby ruined the motherboard until the motion to readdress and reanalyze that. So please let me know about that. A lot here about everybody was so touched by the fonts. There's no doubt. Okay. Only reason was the lady stepped in was because you didn't know how to do it. Interesting. You're an encyclopedia for this case, Sherry D. You really are. Trying to get to everything here. We have some more Brit in our lives. Yes, please share photo. Okay, yeah, Sherry, I will look for those photos. We've got 3 or 4 photos because we made a couple passes so that photographer could get multiple photos. So I will endeavor to make that happen. You'll see the nose on the regular C-130 and the nose on the Combat Talon 2 are the Combat Talon 2 has a big long hog nose to fit the 2 radars that we have in there, whereas the one on the normal MC-130, the boilerplate one, has this APN 241 radar. It's a lot of C-130s have it, but ours is a specially made radar. All right, I want to drink when I think of England. I love England. Is just, oh my God, it's just amazing. All right, yeah, I'm trying to get. You're right, and it is the Wales and the Lake District. We have a log cabin in Wales. It is gorgeous. Oh my God, Wales is just amazing, man. There's a great movie on Netflix called Hinterland that you guys can watch about a crime that happens in Wales, and they actually shot the movie entirely in English and entirely in Welsh. So essentially, they did it twice. So you'd really enjoy that movie. It is a brilliant thriller of a movie, Hinterland. So help me out with that if I need help there, Christine. Oh, Ms. Holmes, let me get you up here, ma'am. You guys are there. Okay, thank you so much. Ms. Holmes, Tommy was awesome this morning. Grant doesn't even listen. Florida here repping. What's up, Florida? What's up, Holmes? Welcome and thank you so much for your generosity. Christine, £2 right there from the UK, from Manchester. And Sherry gifting 15 memberships. This young lady right here, and I can call her young because she told me how old she was, and she's younger than me, is very, very generous. Very generous. Let's see, like the B1. Yes, the B1 does have a TFTA radar, but they're limited to 500 foot, if I'm not mistaken, is the lowest they can go. And unfortunately, at that speed, Tommy, you can't make the turns that we can make because the radar doesn't have time to look in that direction. There's a new MC-130, it's the Talon 3, and that one's radar can do things that ours couldn't do. And can hit an uncovered area, they can turn much faster than we can. But the B1's radar is dated, and the speed that they're going, you're limited on your bank angle and the types of turns you can make. Did you like our fish? Absolutely. I love British food. We love going out to traditional British restaurants, Ken. I just love it. It's hard to say. I went there. I worked for the Air Force a few years ago and went there, and I really, really feel at home when I'm in England. It's something that I can't describe to you, but you guys know. Hey, Brit, so beautiful and so smart. Yes, agree on both. 250 feet off the ground. That's as low as my drone flies higher. And I got news for you. The new version of our aircraft can fly even lower. So, what was Tom Cruise guys in? What are the Tom Cruise guys in Top Gun? Those were F-14 Tomcats, if that's what you're referring to. So you'll have to clarify on that one. Oh, Valhalla Law is here. Hey, good evening. How are you, my friend? Um, I believe I don't know if Valhalla Law is a male or female, or if he or she is a lawyer. I think he or she is, but you can let me know. What are the guys rather? Okay, what are the guys? I still don't know what are the guys. I don't. That question needs to be a little more explicit for me to. Yeah, they're United States Navy, Top Gun. That's right. There's a school. The school back then was the school back then was in Miramar, and now the school is at Fallon Naval Air Station in Nevada, which happened in the mid '90s, maybe '95 or so. They moved to Nevada, and now they use the FA-18. Back when Tom filmed that, the F-14 Tomcat was the aircraft of choice for that one. Tell them about the spooky version of that 130. Okay, so I have 1 year flying gunships. There's 3 versions of gunships. 4 actually now. There's 4 now. But what he's talking about, there was the AC-130. You guys forgive me that want to talk Karen Reed, so really forgive me. The AC-130H Spectre gunship was the first gen of the C-130 gunship. Then you had the AC-130U Spooky, they would call it. Had some different guns on there than from the H to the U. Then the AC-130W, that was me. The Stinger 2. And I flew it as an MC-130W for about 2 years and 1 year as an AC-130W. And I'm not really a gunship guy. I'm really a Talon guy. But and now you have the AC-130J Ghost Rider, which is even more equipped. It's an amazing aircraft, very similar to the AC-130W in firepower capability, but the engines have more power. It has more performance. Okay, spent a lot of time questioning Grant. I can only do a minute or two, and then he probably runs out of patience. So yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that one. There's Dennis saying hi, Brit. So Brit and Dennis are going to get to meet at dinner. And yeah, Leanne is so positive. I got to speak last night, and just what a really nice human being. So the young guru in data in regards to my comment. I don't know what SY Young. I don't know what that all. Thank you so much, Scott. I don't know why I couldn't remember the Fowells. Not born there. No, born there. Holloman, White Sands, Miller Range, Alamogordo. Like the okay. So it looks like Tom was born out there in New Mexico. I'm way behind you guys. I'll try to get caught up here. Yes, no question about that. Scott, that is why Bernie Taupin was inducted into the Hall of Fame in Cleveland right along with Elton. Oh, you love Joe Cocker's cover. Look at that. I haven't heard that one. What do you think of JFK's Waterfall bar breakdown? Yeah, I agree with that. I have a very similar. So let's talk about this so I can get into Karen Reed a little bit, and you guys, some people in the chat, don't revolt. So let's talk about the Waterfall bar. There's a couple of things that are pertinent about the Waterfall bar. So you have Karen there with her back to where Higgy is at that point when he's at the left of your screen. I don't see the rope-a-dope all that clearly that Sean McDonough refers to, but apparently it's there. But what I do see is Brian Higgins doing this and Chris Albert kind of doing the, hey, and you even see Higgins leaning around him. And I have a hometown bar that has a lot of what you would call like tough guys. So I've seen those situations happen. And that means one thing. And I'm not going to use the curse word, but it means something to the effect of, hey, MFer, do you want some of this? Okay. So then you follow up with the 6 unanswered text messages, of which Karen, as I described them, unanswered. And then you have, are you coming? So there's no question that Brian called John O'Keefe to go over there for a fight. So there's no question that that's what happened. This was not supposed to be a murder thing. This was meant to be a fight between a couple of guys. John, from his perspective, he saw him doing that, and he may have been doing the Ali shuffle as he's pointing. I didn't see it. You guys may have seen it. I'm going to scroll all the way down here, and I'm going to close this out just to see the most. Okay. So I'm very, very confident in this. And hello, Reality Check. Hi, welcome. And hi, Aaron. Yeah, Mello was there. We'll get to that in a second because we're at the Waterfall. So there's no question that John told Karen to bring him to 34 Fairview, which she alluded to. She said, I didn't hear anyone invite you there. No one invited me, so I don't know why we're going there. And he said, take me over there. And the reason that John went over there is very, very simple. The reason that John went over there was because he didn't want Higgins to go over to Canton PD and say, you know what? I called O'Keefe out to fight, and he's a PUSSY because he didn't show up. I'm not going to say the words. I'm not going to turn this into a curse fest. We have ladies in the chat and all that, so I'm not going to do that. But that was the reason why this happened. Okay. Hi, Leslie. Cheers. So now, the next thing that happens is John says to Karen, you wait here, I'll be back. And when he thought, I'm going to go show my face, I'm going to prove to Higgins that I'm not scared of him, as any man would do that. And I'm not a PUSSY. But what he didn't know is that Higgins really was going to fight him. He thought that Higgins was going to back down. And when he went in the house and immediately they took him downstairs, now he knows he's going to have to fight. Now, what else happened? We can get into that in a second. What Higgins wanted to do, I want you guys to think caveman, prehistoric man, hunter-gatherer business here. That's what I want you to think about. And, okay, well, I'm going to tell you why I think this, Scott. And you may have already heard this, so forgive me if you have. And if not, just give me some grace here for a second about what happened at the house. Some of you have already heard this, but so he would have told Karen, wait outside. She's saying, I got to go to the bathroom. He thinks he's going to, it's the hunter get. If I can send O'Keefe home with a couple of black eyes or a broken nose, then this girl who's been ignoring my texts all night, she's going to know she picked the wrong guy. That's what Higgins' goal is she didn't answer my text. I'm going to show her that her real protector is me, not this pansy former basketball player O'Keefe. That's what he's thinking. That's what Higgy Poo is thinking. Now I'm going to get into what happened in the house. So, Scott, I'm going to ask you to hang in here with me for a second, if you would, Scott, and with an open mind. I have postulated, and I've had this conversation with our friend Peter Murphy. It was, in my opinion, and I'm going to back this up with some evidence, it was not an accident what happened at 34 Fairview. So now you're going to say, why wasn't it an accident? That's right. That's right. She waited outside because he said, I'll be right back, because he didn't think he was going to have to fight. Then he went in there and found out, oh, no, Higgins really does want to fight, and Albert is going to bring us down to the gym because he doesn't want to get his house trashed. We're not going to be fighting in the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, or my bedrooms, or the bathroom. We're going to be fighting in the basement where the gym is. Okay. So now we got that. I know. Well, let me just hang with me for a second. Hang with me for a second, Scott. Hang with me. Okay. So, is there anything illegal about Higgins and O'Keefe deciding that they want to have a fight in the basement? Is there anything illegal about that? So, give me a Y or an N in the chat. There's nothing illegal. If this is somebody trolling here, Mark, you're going to be out of here in a second. So, there's nothing illegal about two guys fighting. So I have to figure what I'm trying to do, Scott, is I'm the worst math student, but I want to figure for X. What I don't know is X. I have to solve, if this is an algebraic equation, I have to solve for X. X is, why didn't Brian Albert call 911 and call the duty desk at BPD and tell them that O'Keefe was injured after the fight happened? X is that. That's what I don't know. That's my X, right? Chuck Liddell, we can do any of that stuff. So I have to solve for X. So let's do that. There's nothing illegal about them having a fight. So that's not a problem. John can punch Higgins in the face. Higgins can punch John in the face. And there's nothing illegal about that. It becomes assault when someone stops punching and you continue to punch. Now we might have an assault. So now we're going to get to the part where, let's say John punches Higgins, Higgins punches John, and John falls and hits his head on the squat rack cradle. Is there anything illegal about it's I don't have to prove anything. This is not a court of law. I'm giving you a hypothesis and I'm going to back it up. I don't have to prove anything. I'm going to give you reasons why I think that. Higgins punches John. John falls and hits his head, smacks his head on the squat rack. Is there anything illegal that has occurred there? If someone tells me that's an illegality, put a Y in the chat. If you're not, I submit to you that there's nothing illegal there. Okay? We agree. Valhalla Law says yes. Okay, to me, nothing illegal has happened about somebody slipping and falling. They agreed to fight. There were witnesses there that saw them agree to fight. One guy fell and hit his head. That could have been Higgins, and it's okay. Okay? Now, John and Higgins again, they're involved. We got hands up, and now there's some punches thrown, right? Some punches are thrown, and somebody smacks somebody on the back of the head. While two men are engaged, someone takes a metal object and whacks someone on the back of the head. Now has something illegal happened? Yes. Now we have Brian Albert. Now his wheels start turning, and he's trying to think of, this is a great one right here that you put up there, Christine, but give me a second. So now somebody whacks somebody on the back of the head. Now Brian Albert has cause not to call 911 and the ambulance and not to call the duty desk. Now let's go over what happens when he calls the duty desk. When Brian calls the duty desk, the duty sergeant is going to answer, and that phone line is recorded. So anything that Brian Albert tells that duty sergeant, he's going to bring up on her screen, and he's going to start typing out a report of what Brian said, and that's going to be recorded. Now Brian has a problem because whatever he tells the duty sergeant is now an official record of the BPD. This is a recorded phone call backed up with a report. Tell us what happened, Sergeant Albert. What happened? Who was there? What time did this happen? What was involved? Was there a fight? All these kinds of things. How did the injury to his head occur that you're now calling what? So all these things are going to be asked. And now there's an official record. So I got a problem now. Because what if John wakes up and he tells a different story than what Brian tells after the felony assault, where he's not looking and he's whacked on the back of the head? Because if he falls and he hits himself, hey guys, no harm, no foul. There was a fight. It got out of hand. Two guys had a couple beers. They had a fight. He fell and hit his head. We're good. BPD's good. Is BBD going to be pissed? Yeah, they're going to be pissed. Whoever the sergeant over O'Keefe is going to be pissed. But we don't have a crime. It's not a crime. Does everybody understand that? It's a crime when somebody strikes somebody from behind with a metal object. Now it's assault. Now we have something to cover up for. Now we have a concussion protocol that could be 30 days out of work or more. Now we have O'Keefe telling Canton PD a story. We have the Norfolk DAs involved. We have BPD and O'Keefe Sergeant is involved. We have the duty sergeant's report is involved. We have the police union involved. That's 5 entities that now have an interest in this case. 5 entities. So now do you understand why I believe this was a felony assault? This was not an accident. That it's not necessarily true. It depends on who says what. And O'Keefe says we agreed to fight and I fell and hit my head. I mean, if you're the lawyer, you tell me. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe you're in Massachusetts and you know. But if depending upon what O'Keefe says, I fell and hit my head. We agreed to fight and I fell and hit my head. There's no crime there. I mean, I've had it happen to me in fights where I've fallen and gotten hurt. So it's not a crime until someone says, I want to press charges on something. Let's get back to Scott here. And Officer, is it Saraf? I don't know how you say his name. Officer Saraf, the career-long midnight shift slug, wanted no part of this. All he cared about is sleeping through a shift all night and working roadside detail for OT. I know people like that. Absolutely. But what would have happened, what would have been interesting is I don't think the police would have shown up there, Scott. I think what would have happened is it would have happened at the hospital. It would have been at the ER. And he may or may not have stayed overnight. But if either Brian or Colin struck O'Keefe on the back of the head with an object, which I'm contending that's what happened. Because if it's not what happened, and here's this, I'm talking to you right now, Valhalla Law. If I'm wrong, if we're at a hunting camp or a fishing camp or hiking and O'Keefe hits his head on a rock, Brian Albert calls, even if they're drunk at a fishing camp or hunting camp. Brian Albert calls 911. We have to solve for X. Why didn't he call 911? He didn't call 911 is because Brian felt a felony had occurred that he could not explain away and that O'Keefe would challenge him on. Does everybody understand that? Heisenberg's trying to do the Al Pacino. You're out of order. I'll take a flamethrower to this place. I can't remember. Scent of a Woman. Yes, and they wouldn't have had only a small exactly. So this is the point. If a crime had not occurred Brian Albert would have called 911. He had no animus against this guy. He wasn't his friend. He probably didn't care about this guy. It was Higgins that had to beef with him. And he would have called 911 if it was an accident and rendered aid. You got to put in your mind here all the stuff that he had to concoct and do. If it was just an accident, he would have called the duty sergeant and said, Lard-ass Higgins just had a fight with O'Keefe, and he fell and he struck his head. What happened? They were drunk. We're at the bar. We drank. We came over my house. They wanted a fight. We went to the basement. Higgins punched him. He fell. He hit his head and cut his head open. That's the end. And now there's some splaining to do, Ricky. For those of you that have watched I Love Lucy, there's some splaining to do. But the felony assault is why he thought that O'Keefe would wake up and tell a different story than what Brian would have told the duty sergeant. Not the least of which was the dog bites. But they were let off the hook by CPD and the MSPD or the MSP. They let them. Can you understand what's going on? I'm sorry, let me get to. Okay, you understand. We're solving for X. Brian didn't call 911. We want to know why. There's only one reason. Because he thought he was going to get in trouble. He thought a felony had occurred that he would not be able to explain away, particularly if O'Keefe would come out of this, if he's going in convulsions on the floor and he would wake up and say, one of these guys smacked me and then the dog grabbed my arm, whatever. But it doesn't matter what Chloe did. Chloe could have ripped his arm off completely. It's immaterial what Chloe did. It's immaterial. What's material is how he sustained the injury. That is what Brian was trying to solve for. I can't explain this to the Sarge of what happened in my house that either my nephew did or I did. I don't know which one of them did it. But somebody did it. Potentially, yes. I mean, I have no way of knowing. Potentially, yes. Also, potentially, yes, John Courtney. And welcome. Welcome to the party. Potentially, yes. And yeah, there's somebody troll here. Nobody's expert proved he didn't go in. So you are so full of it. I'm not even going to put your crap up on the screen, Heisenberg, because nobody has proved that he hasn't gone in the house. Even Hera. Hera, have you proven anything right now? Hera? And first of all, why are you in the studio? Is it because you're running the house? There she is, everybody. Hera, my annoying and furry black cat. Here we go. All right. Yes. So I'm not going to kick you out though, Heisenberg, because you're just, you know what happened here. So I don't have to tell you what you know. You know that he was killed in the house and all that. So I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. They went too far and virtually beat him to death. The blow maybe was to finish him off. That didn't work, so he went out cold. Yep, they couldn't take that chance. Yeah, that's quite possible here. Valhalla, first of all, tell me, are you in fact a lawyer? You haven't answered me about, please, Valhalla Law. I mean, we're friends at this point. Aren't we friends? Come on. DJ here, the key is whether it's a crime depends on whether or not he intended to throw the punch, not whether he meant the injury. Well, the thing is if they agreed to fight, who does the prosecutor prosecute, right? If you have two guys that agree to fight, first of all, nobody's calling the police, and they just have a fight. So the police are never involved. And if both men testify that they agree to fight, and I've seen these in court previously, there's no crime yet. The crime happens if somebody falls, and hits their head. Well, obviously, he's not going to try to prosecute Brian Albert or Brian Higgins if he fell and hit his head. The problem is that he didn't know that he was getting hit in the head when he was fighting. And Brian said he's going to tell a different story than what he's saying. Well, I just gave it to you. I told you we're solving for X. Why didn't Brian call 911? If it was an accident, what do you think? What do you think, Pink Lady? You think he wanted to murder John O'Keefe that night? You think he's sitting there in the bar and goes, "Oh, I want to murder this cop and ruin my life and sell my house and get rid of my dog and have my basement redone and do all this stuff"? That wasn't his intention. He thought he was going to host a fight. He's a fight guy, right? He considers himself a tough guy, a boxer, a badass, a sucker punch guy, what McDonough calls him. So he's going to say, okay, and if there's a 17-year-old in the house, what do you think, or 18-year-old, what do you think he's going to do? He thinks he's a badass. He's going to go, oh, I'll stay up here and watch TV, or I'll be in the kitchen and talk to these girls. If he sees two guys that go downstairs that want to fight, Colin Albert's going to say, I want to see these two guys fight. Plus, he hates O'Keefe. Well, hey, man, that's what I do here, Scott. That's what I do. I opine on what I think happened. That's why I got a show, is so that I can take facts that we know and analyze them and come up with what I believe is a conclusion. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm saying this is what I believe based on these factors. So that's what I do here. And I told Mike the same thing in Crawford last week. So he may not be comfortable doing that on his show. I am 100% comfortable doing it on my show. That's why I got a show. so I can do this stuff. Oh, Queensbury rules. All right, so we need to hear about what that is, Ken. I'm not aware of that. What are Queensbury rules? Be respectful to all in the channel. Remember, this is DJ's channel. If you don't like the content, remember, this is not an airport. No need to announce your departure. Listen to Jess. She's sharp, man. No, that's the way I do it, man. I have done that about that's what I did with the bar, etc. Okay. Yep, the dog was protecting its owner. Hey, LJ. Let me do the LJ symbol. There we go. Welcome back. Here we go. Oy vey. Oh yeah, don't even engage, man. That person is just here to troll, and so just don't even engage, man. That's when somebody when somebody does that, they're just, Hera, what are you doing here? Look at this. Look at that face. They're just I don't know if this is a guy or a gal. That person knows what happened. They know what happened in the house. They can put two and two together and figure Brian Albert did all these different things to rid himself of everything that had to do with 34 Fairview, because he knows that he committed a crime there or conspired to commit a crime there. And so that's why he did all that. You don't do that when you're innocent. You just say, I didn't do anything. And obviously he knew he was part of it, and that's why he redid his basement, and he got rid of his phone ahead of the court order, where someone from the Superior Court called him and told him, "Oh yeah, we're gonna come and get your phone, so you better get rid of it." So all that stuff. And the reason why he did it is because if it looks like a duck, and it walks like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, help me out, people. What is it? It's a damn duck. Thank you. Thank you for my baby panther, Hera, my annoying cat. Yeah, she comes a lot, usually when Julie's here. So, reality check, my homegirl. Definitely think something. Yeah, there's no question. There's no question. We have to figure out what they were trying to cover up. Well, they're trying to cover up a crime. Why are they trying to cover up a crime? Because they think that O'Keefe is going to say something different than what they would try to tell. Here is the key. Whether it's a crime depends in whether he intended to throw the punch, not whether he meant the injury. Christine Mitchell. Okay, so, he or she speaks. I believe that Valhalla Law here probably is a lawyer. He or she has not answered me about that, but I believe he or she knows more than I know. Let's see. For the people that think and believe Karen Reed civil rights were not. Oh, don't. Look, here's what you need to learn on Cab. When you have a troll like this person in the chat, don't engage them. If you ignore them, they stop. If you continue to answer them, now if they get disrespectful, we'll just kick them out. But if you ignore them, they stop. When you continue to engage and answer when they know that it's crap, then they just keep doing it. Okay, here's Scott. I do believe there's no way John O'Keefe was hit by Karen. He's like all the rest is open to speculation. None of the theory's bad. Again, it's not my job to prove it. That's the lawyer's job and the jury to adjudicate on it, not mine. I will hypothesize based on. I'm going to give you something that I'm basing it on, and not just BS. I have a reason. I've given you reasons why. I gave you the whole thing about the duty desk. I gave you the whole thing about the recorded line and the report. And Brian knows that the moment he calls the duty sergeant, that is an official record. And he didn't want that smoke because he wouldn't be able to explain what happened. And he feared that there would be a different narrative told by John. And that was why he did this. Because he knows that a crime was committed that he couldn't explain away. It's not just, hey, he fell. Because if he said that, I think you would have seen O'Keefe would have been okay. Brian would have been okay. O'Keefe would have been pissed if he just fell and hit his head. But O'Keefe is not going to file charges based on a fight that he agreed to be in. O'Keefe is going to file charges when he's in a man-to-man battle here and someone struck him from behind. Someone. I don't know if that's Colin. I don't know if that's Brian. For all I know, that could have been Higgins, right? I don't know who hit him from behind. It's just that they went to great lengths to try to remove Colin from the scenario. So somebody hit him from behind, and that is what they couldn't explain away. The accident, they can explain to the duty sergeant. They can explain to the captain. They can't explain a felony assault. That they can't explain. And if they thought O'Keefe would press charges, and clearly O'Keefe already was at odds with Chris Albert to some degree or another, and if someone would have smacked him in the back of the head with a metal object and knocked him silly, and then he woke up and saw that, he'd be pissed. And he knows he can't go to work. He's going to have to be on medical leave. He's going to have a concussion protocol. It's going to get messy. Thank you, Valhalla Law. You are a retired lawyer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I greatly appreciate that. LJ, thank you. Thank you, my homie. Maddie M was on the backup just like Jen McCobb, looking out the window at 12:45 and saw the SUV wasn't there. Again, I encourage you, this may have been ex post facto, don't answer. If you answer, they continue. Don't answer because they're crap. You know, this is a troll, and when you answer trolls, they just keep going. So you don't answer. Trust me on this. I dealt with trolls in the UFO community. Don't answer. Here's another one. Don't answer. Okay, here we go. No guys are convicted all the time. Well, yeah, no, I hear you. I'm just telling you, I don't think, you're dealing with two police officers, both from BPD. And I think that this could have been, hey, this is okay, as long as you got O'Keefe on board. If you lose O'Keefe and O'Keefe is pissed and he wants to press charges, now you have something. Now you have the Norfolk DA trying to choose between hometown favorite Brian Albert, but then you have Boston police, you have the police union, you have potentially a lawyer for O'Keefe. I don't know what the captain's position would be. So we don't know those things, Valhalla Law. We don't know. But I can surmise that if it were an accident, that O'Keefe would not be as aggrieved as he was if he was not smacked in the back of the head and had his arm torn up by the stupid, I was about to say the stupid dog. The dog's not stupid. The dog's just doing what the dog's trained to do. There's nothing wrong with that. Brit happens. If that were Brian's intention, he wouldn't have done it in his own home with his family present. Absolutely. Right. Brian Albert had hidden in his home, had complicit non-investigators rid his dog, tore out his basement. Yeah, I mean, you're answering that person up above who's being disingenuous. And when people are disingenuous, I don't need to have a discussion with you. I want to have a discussion with honest people. I want to have a discussion with honest people. With dishonest people, really, I don't want to have a discussion. Jay Diesel, I'm with you. D-Mart, thank you very much. I'm not trying to be right. I'm stating my opinion and why I do my show the way that I do it. I don't ask that other content creators do it that way. But I'm not going to just blindly speculate based on crap. I've tried to back up everything I've said. And if you think I haven't, then tell me. Christine Mitchell, who is hung in there so the UK right now. What time is it in the UK? I don't know if I have UDT on my watch, but it's got to be 2:00 in the morning there. Tell me what time it is there, Christine. Might be wrong about that. It is the prosecution that have to prove the case, not the defense, and the state failed. Simple witnesses were too angry, like Jen could not stop that. Yeah. I think that the defense will go with more of the burden of proof is on them this time than, oh, good night, Ken. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And Christine, you should go to bed too. Love you both. And we'll see you on the next one. Oh no, you're a beast, Sherry. You're awesome, man. I mean, oh, look who's here. The legend is in the house. The natural Nurse Kim, the legend. Hi, Nurse Kim. I guess she missed it because earlier I said, man, we have a lot of amazing content creators in the space. I think I might have had this with Terry too, but if you take the top two, for me, the most natural, just gifted, it's Melanie and Nurse Kim. Irrespective of gender, any of that, it's Melanie and Nurse Kim. Well, yeah, I mean, but again, there's different ways to couch it. If those guys agree to fight, there's not necessarily going to be beef if they can settle it. But look at this Nurse Kim. I think this is the first time she's ever been in the chat. So I love you, Nurse Kim. I got to message with you earlier in the week, and you're just amazing. Yeah, man. We run out of superlatives talking about Nurse Kim. So, people say no evidence. There's a beat up cop dying. Ow! Hera is now gripping my arm, dying on the front of Albert's house, and no question. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing that drives me absolutely crazy. That I say this all the time. And Brit right now probably wants to slap me in the face because she's tired of hearing this. But it's like the investigation began when Officer Saraf, or the supervising officer, stepped on the snowy lawn at 34 Fairview. And when the moment they decided not to go knock on the door, the investigation was over. It was ended right there. Then it became, after they got past the Bukkake domestic stuff, it became, how do we cover it up? So the investigation probably lasted 60 seconds or less. Thank you. Yes, I am not afraid of taking chances. I'm not afraid of being judged. I want to do analysis on what I think happened. I want to solve for X and figure out what we don't know. And that's what I've done here. maybe to the chagrin of some, but I am very, very comfortable with it. And I will continue to do that because it's what I do. It looks like a duck, walks like a duck. It's a damn duck. All right. And Kim is, oh, there is, so Kim is here, but that was 10 minutes ago. So I'm so far behind on the chat. Anyway, I've kept you guys an hour and a half. So I know everybody loves Nurse Kim, right? Come on. She is a former lawyer. Who is a former lawyer? Did I miss it? Do we have another lawyer in here, Valhalla Law? Okay. Some people's minds are different, and most understand at 25, but lately they don't understand till they... Ah, man. Retired lawyer. Can I get it? Amen. All right. I want to thank you. I want to thank you guys for coming in tonight. You guys were totally awesome. If you want, I got to get to the bottom of the chat because I'm way far here. If you would like to be on that listener roundtable, please message me at, let me put this in the chat here. Okay. Please message me there if you, and it's 209. So please, yeah. Kimberly McGuire, all you loves, Christine, go to bed, please. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. If you want to be on that listener roundtable, let me know. It'll be week after next, and we'll have it. I don't want to keep you guys. I can't go to bed now, DJ. I'll miss a lot. Thank you so much. I know everybody. We have so much love for Nurse Kim here. No, I know. No, you're right, Scott. You're right about that. We need that parachute to come in. You know, I was about to name a certain army unit that we're not supposed to talk about, but yeah, we need those heroes from the AUSA to come parachuting in. So, thank you so much, Brit. Yeah, if you would smash the like button, I really appreciate it. Nurse Kim, been an absolute blessing with the medical facts. Her show is just, you must be good at math. I'm really not. You'll find out I'm so terrible at math. I barely got my degree, with that. But love Bell, Nurse Kim. Thank you so much, ma'am. I really appreciate it. You know how much regard and respect that I have for you, ma'am. You're just, I don't know. I feel like Kim is going to get bored of me talking about what an amazing content creator she is. Brit is going to follow in those footsteps. Okay, so, all right, so Jess, you're in for the listener roundtable. It's going to be busy, but you're in. Love your face, Nurse Kim. Absolutely. Brit is going to be starting her YouTube channel, and Brit is going to be another amazing content creator in our space. We are just weeks away until she's getting her studio set up. So that's what Brit's working on. And then you'll see Nurse Kim on there. Eventually, I'll get invited on there, and there's going to be other content creators on there. But the thing is that Brit really has the wit. She has the knowledge. She has the study skills. She has the wit. She has the humor, both dry and otherwise. Yeah, she's going to be one of them. So, I can't wait until Brit starts, and you guys are going to love her. She has such a... Hera... We need to get... Hold on. Hera's going to... Oh, my goodness. I'm in trouble now. Hera, go on down, babe. All right. We're able to get rid of Hera. She has that wit. She has that incredible wit that, and humor, both dry and not dry humor. So you guys are going to love her channel, and we'll get you spun up once she gets started and make sure we'll be promoting that stuff on here. Valhalla Law, we're almost done. Amy, a.k.a. backseat juror, depends on the charge, but it could be manslaughter, which could be up to 20 years. They probably get somewhere more like a solid 10 with the previous, but I have to confirm. Once again, Valhalla Law, I want to thank you for spending the time to come in here. I'm so Hera's even getting some recognition here. I want to thank you, Valhalla Law, for coming in here and adding your expertise. You are welcome to come on anytime, roundtable or otherwise, just to be interviewed. So I would love to see you in here. There's lots of love in here for Brit, for Nurse Kim, and for Valhalla Law. So thank you very much, homegirl. And okay, I got to tell you guys something really funny about the text I just got. Sorry for I'm holding up to get rid of this to stop the show, but I just got a message from Jason Robbins. Terry Robbins is going to be on the roundtable. She goes to all the standouts, or most of the standouts, and she's going to be on the Dean College roundtable Saturday. So you're going to have Boozy Beauty, you're going to have Esty, you're going to have Beatriz, and you're going to have me. All of us went to Dean, except Beatriz is going to host. So Jason Robbins and Terry Robbins. So Terry's son just said, I just got to let you know my mom is allergic to cats. And I thought that was so funny. Jason also is really witty and funny. When I was in Massachusetts a month ago, I got to go in and visit at her home and meet Jason. And I got to speak with Terry. So they're really amazing people. She lives right in Franklin, right near Dean. Okay, and I'm trying to get through this. No, you're the one that's awesome, Amy, or at least Valhalla Law is awesome. So, what else we got here? She is a female retired lawyer in Massachusetts. Thank you so much, Valhalla Law. Like I said, you're welcome to come on Cab. My new friend who I spoke with last night, I believe. It was great to speak with you. Another Dean graduate right here. Yeah, Terry on the board of directors for 29 years. And Margaret, I was piggybacking on Scott McGinnis' comment about the fix. Not sure if it was Ali or Higgins. Thank you, love. I really appreciate you. And thank you. You're so kind, Sherry. I really appreciate this. You're really so very generous and kind. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. Thank you, Brit, my fellow content creators, Nurse Kim. Final one from Jess, who, Kim, you know I ride for you and I will be your personal security if I need be, but I bring a 120-pound Dutch Shepherd named Hades who loves blondes. Yeah, I've seen Jessica's dogs and they're badass. You don't want any part of that, man. Growing the channel, allowing the trolls to go. All right. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you guys. It was wonderful. Great dialogue tonight. I did get fired up, but it was wonderful to have you. And we will see you Saturday night for the Dean Roundtable with Terry Robbins, Esty, Boozy Beauty, myself, and our host, the amazing, the incomparable Beatriz. Thank you, Liz Colbaker. And may the force be with you. Thank you. It's great to hear caveman points of view. Yes. And I will also, Jason Broyles will be on next week. The great journalist, commentator, musician himself, Jason Broyles will be on next week. All right. And then the listener roundtable after that. So on behalf of all of my mods here, Julie, Miss Jessica, Kelly, Sherry D, you guys are amazing. Kim, Britt, Scott, Tom CPU, Shauna, all you guys are just amazing. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me for an hour and a half. So on behalf of all of you, I say peace out. One love. I'll see you down the road. And I'm always wondering what's up around the bend.